Hi, and welcome to Wrong Way. And I didn't write EUCs for the past 2 weeks properly. So here's what I learned. Let me tell you more about it.
Wrong way.
So while not properly using your EUC for 2 weeks or not writing an EUC at all because you don't have one might be normal for you, for me it's not. Because for the past 5 years, I've been using them every day to get around town, to have fun, to go off-road, on-road, visit people, do errands. So what happened in the past 2 weeks is pretty unusual for me, and I'm still quite happy. And I did go out. Like, I didn't have an injury that I needed to stay home and, knock out at all. No, I did use public transportation. I cycled, I used the car, and I walked a lot. And while it is more normal for most people, for me it's not. At least at the rate that I was doing it in the past 2 weeks. So yeah, I wanted to share with you 7 observations that I got while not properly using my EUC in the past 2 weeks. Because I did a small run to a fast food chain one day, like 3 kilometers there and back. And I also pushed someone in a shopping cart on a pump track. But yeah, those were the only 2 instances of riding during the past 2 weeks. No errands, no adventures, no off-roading, and unusual. But yeah, let's get to number 1. Okay, but some of those might be pretty obvious, but for me, they're pretty new. And number 1, exercise is nice. And I feel like I just didn't get enough on it on an EUC. Because yes, you can do off-roading and you get a little bit of a sweat and you can do jumps, but this is nothing compared to pumping your heart and soul out while riding a BMX on a pump track. Like, this is actually nice. And I've learned that, just getting around town on a bicycle, it is a lot slower, but it's still fun. And weirdly, I just smiled after doing a ride on my bicycle, because yes, I have a bicycle to go around town now. And this is pretty new. And getting, and breathing a bit more, your skin breathing a bit more, getting a bit more, exercise in just makes you more healthy. And this just hit me so hard during the past 2 weeks. I also didn't need so many layers of clothing. I rather needed more breathable clothing. And I was always warm, even though it's cold. I'm just so not used to it. And this smaller amount of clothing and more breathing during being outside made me feel really good and light and easy, at ease. Walking around town with my friends, I know, it's so normal, but believe me, for the past 5 years, I've been really just focusing always to get around on an EUC, and walking with an EUC is not so nice, so I kind of avoided it a little. But yeah, walking around town, using my bicycle, using public transportation to get around, look at my phone or a book. Okay, I didn't read a book, but looking at my phone while I'm on the subway, it was nice. It was nice to have this bit of movement, exercise, and yeah, it just feels healthy, and that's something that I really enjoy. Now, it started with kettlebells, and I'm training with them still, and I'm, feeling the gains a lot. But adding on top of that, going around on a bicycle, walking, and having this exercise, taking stairs too, because that's also something I usually avoid on a EUC, unless I want to, ride down them. Yeah, this was just phenomenal. Great experience. On to number 2. The second thing is something really to ponder about. Like, I'm self-reflecting on myself, because it's self-reflecting, obviously. And I think that EUCs made me a little bit antisocial. Now, take that thought, hold it, don't judge me yet. I think that I was very social in my inner circle of, EUC riders, and we would go out, have adventures, have fun, socialize, and that was great. But people that don't ride an EUC, it's kind of tough to socialize if your main method of transportation is that and you're really sort of addicted to it, like I am or I was. Because you don't really want to go somewhere unless there's an elevator, and at the same time, I don't really like using an elevator with my electric unicycle. So then it's like, this additional thought, how do I get there? Can I get there, and will it be comfortable to use with my electric unicycle? Now, the other thing is, once I get there, it's not so easy to walk with an electric unicycle, so then you should leave it there. But I don't want to leave it because I should lock it. but I wouldn't lock it because I don't want it stolen. So then you have just all of these additional steps, and then I'm like, I'll just go out for a ride, like with my buddies, and that's it. So I think while using the bicycle a bit more, and I just can lock it up, I can go up, flights of stairs, and I just don't care because I'm walking, so it's fine. I can leave it outside, walk around in a mall, go to a restaurant, and it's not like dripping with water inside because I leave it outside. Yeah, I mean, it's constantly raining in Warsaw right now. Lots of side thoughts, sorry. Not side thoughts. So yeah, I think that in a way, EUCs made me a little bit antisocial, and walking a bit more now, doing all of these experiences that, don't have this additional step of thinking, how do I get there? Where do I leave my EUC? Is it easy to walk with it then? Should I lock it up? Should I leave it somewhere? Is it charged? Should I charge it somewhere? Which EUC should I take? Yeah, it's just easier because the bicycle is always charged because it doesn't have a battery. It's always on. And yeah, let me know. I'm very interested about your comments to this video. Let me know what you think about, all of these questions. And the last point is actually a question to you guys. Maybe you can comment on that too. I'm super curious about your comments. I'll read through all of them, and leave a like while you're at it. Let's keep this conversation going, okay? All right, number 3 might come in as a surprise, but not having a battery is nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't need to worry about charging my bicycle. I don't need to worry about charging my legs. They're doing pretty well. I have footage of that. Footage, legs. And also I have to say that throughout the years, I always had like this small thought, like this not comfortable thought that, it's still a battery, and whatever battery it is, there's a chance it might have a failure. And while with our batteries that we have and the smart BMS systems, like the chance is still small, it's not zero. And the not zero is not something that is very comforting. Because when I walk, like the only failure I can have is my legs or whatever other part of my body. It won't hurt anyone else. If I use a bicycle, it doesn't have a battery. So there is no electronics that can go wrong. And not just having this in the back of my mind that I still have a battery, and I walk indoors. Should I be indoors? I prefer to leave it outside. I don't want it stolen. And, I go into an elevator, but probably I shouldn't. But yeah, in general, I would say it's not good to use a EUC in an elevator or take it in. But at the same time, they're heavy, and what should I do? So not having the battery felt kind of relieving to me. And as much as I love the speed of electric unicycles, the acceleration, the performance, the fun factor, this is something that was in the back of my mind. And software issues, another thing. Again, I didn't have like any random cutoffs since, oh wait, actually I have one on the M10.5, damn. But except the M10.5, yeah, they just don't turn off when you're riding. But having 2 wheels and just relying on this software and this hardware is great. So yeah, I hope you got that joke, and yeah, let's move on to number 4. Now, number 4 is pretty positive towards EUCs because throughout the 2 last weeks, I really got to know how overpowered EUCs are. Like, they're so quick to get around town, they're small, they're so maneuverable, they are just an extension of your brain into your body, into the, sphere of 3D world around us. And I can tell, like when I would go to a friend who lives not really far away from me, it's probably like 25 minutes on an EUC, and it's not like that I'm going super speedy. No, I just accelerate quickly because it's safe, and I go typically around 25-30 kilometers an hour, and whatever hill I encounter, I go the same speed. I accelerate quick through the lights, and it's just, it's just quick. And when I go out on my it's not a gravel bike, it's like in between gravel mountain bike. I go there for about 35 minutes or 40 minutes, and I sweat, but it's still fun. So going around town, be it a car, be it a bicycle, be it motorcycle could be probably same speed, but then you have to park it. But just using the EUC in a city is still super quick, and being somewhere quickly without breaking a sweat was kind of nice. Now, you can also achieve that with an e-bike. I don't have an e-bike, but yeah, speed of electric unicycles is really overpowered, and their maneuverability, portability, etc., etc. Like, this didn't change at all. Now, the fifth thing I learned is that EUC maintenance is annoying. It is tough. Let's just face it. I've disassembled many EUCs on this channel. Like, many videos that you guys really appreciate on this channel are teardowns of EUCs because, well, nobody bothers to do them, and I can tell why, especially that I've worked on bicycles during the 2 last weeks. Now, if I needed to change a tire on a bike, I know, probably you know about it, but let me just remind you of that. It's 2 screws. It's literally 2 screws and the tire's out. It's so simple. All of the bolts are proper, all of the screws are quality, everything is placed sort of like it just makes sense. And it's just really nice to work on bikes compared to all of the electronics, the shitty screws. I have this, I mean, they're shitty, okay? You can't say any different. The threads that break, the heaviness of the electric unicycle, like lifted up, it just goes to the side or something. Like, bicycles are so light, they weigh just like 10, 14 kilos. It's easy to pick them up and work on them. So yeah, I found that through working on my BMX, that was also super fun with my friends, working on the mountain bike, and in general, just seeing how those bikes are made, that working on electric unicycles is not easy. The tire change is horrible. Changing parts with all of the electronics that are there is kind of tough, although maybe easier than on an electric scooter. I don't really know. But yeah, maintaining a bike is simple, especially if it doesn't have suspension. So yeah, that was nice to learn. Now, the sixth thing I wanted to mention is that, well, when I try to do some fun stuff on a bike, I pretty much can't do shit. Like, I can do all of these things on the electric unicycle, jumps, inclines, you know, spins, 180s, etc., etc. This doesn't translate so much to a bike, but I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm enjoying the process of my software in my brain, controlling it just with the power of my muscles, and nothing is in between. So the best example for that, I would say, is when I went to a pump track with the BMX. So with an electric unicycle, I can jump all of the doubles, I can be pretty speedy there, but the thing is that I always have to sort of communicate with the software of the electric unicycle, because the EUC should stay leveled, but it doesn't. It always moves around a bit, and all of the different EUCs move around differently when you make turns, when you do jumps, when you accelerate a little, when you brake a little, when it gets momentum, etc., etc. So while doing the jumps was fun, doing the turns, like, nah, it's never a pleasant experience, even though now our electric unicycles won't fall to the side because of a software feature which is called tilt angle adjustment. So, you know, it won't turn off in a turn, because that could happen back in the past. Anyway, when using the electric wheel on a pump track, I never could really understand the pump part of it, because I don't really know when I get momentum, I don't know when I accelerate with the battery, I don't know when I brake, because it's sort of all intermingled. The momentum part, the acceleration part, your braking part, but you know, getting the speed part, like it's kind of tough to feel it out. But then when you just use gravity, your muscles, and you know, your brain to get into speed and actually pump on a pump track with a BMX, dude, you're so fast. I'm like, damn, this is so fun. And while the first laps I would do were very exhausting and I couldn't get up to speed, afterwards, I was just like, I was sending it. It was so much fun. I was getting so fast, and I even made a wheelie on one double. Like, that was a huge achievement. I'm very proud of that. The turns also became fun because I didn't need to worry about the software things anymore. I could just like push into it, and I would thread the needle and just even like pump in the turns, and it's just such a nice feeling of being pushed into the turn, and that you can still be fast and be in control. So it was like just going up and down in a turn, and whew, yeah, it was a lot. It was really exhausting too, but so much fun. So learning all of those things on a bicycle are quite fun, and the satisfaction of doing it just with your brain and your muscles and the sort of analog controls of a bicycle is amazing, and no software in between. Like, am I too excited? Tell me, guys, am I too excited? Or is it just a phase? It's just a phase, Mom. No, it's. I don't think it's a phase. Anyways, doing all of those things on the bike was plenty fun, and I can't wait to like make actual jumps and maybe even do a backflip. Like, I'm hyped. Like the momentum, the power. I'm just like, ugh! No beeps, no software things in the back of my mind, no hardware limitations either. I think there's too much excitement in this video, isn't there? Tell me in the comments. Okay, so the last thing is the question towards you guys. And the question is, are EUCs actually freeing you or are they limiting you? Because, you know, we are hands-free, we feel connected with the machine, we can get around, we just have our posture and we float through, you know, time and space, we can go pretty far. But then again, does it limit you in the way you socialize with people? Does it limit you in the way that you could possibly use like trains, public transport? Does it limit you in the way of that you just don't get enough exercise? So my question to you is, think deeply, really think, get into your thoughts and question the core beliefs that you have. Like, that's the thing that I would like to see in the comment section. Like, really question whether all of those, you know, abilities, all of those EUCs that you have, because maybe you have several, all of those skill sets and how you use the wheel is actually making you more free in the way that you're healthy, you're satisfied with your body, you have all of those experiences that make you smile, or is it maybe just not delivering that? But maybe it is, okay? I'm having a lot of thoughts lately and I would like to really hear yours. So with that said, a bit of a different video. I hope you liked it. It's very simple. And if you're still here, leave a like on the video, subscribe to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next video. See you soon. It's beautiful outside. No, it's not. Have a happy new year. Thanks for being here with me.